to November. Snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Right here. Check 52. 38.
And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 16-yard line.
2nd and 10.
Rush in. Hey, alert 3. 36.
Now a give. Running left is Harris. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. On the give, this is Harris. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. This defense for the Packers, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try the left side. It's Harris. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Amos on the tackle. That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd.
Mond looks to throw. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check. 43. I'm trouble. 43 is the mic. 43 is the mic. Here we go.
Mond going to throw it. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, They like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Here's Mond. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Kingsley Keke in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
51-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off play action. Rodgers. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 20.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On play action, now Rodgers. That is caught by Anderson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And, Charles, this defense, they know that they've got their work cut out for them. Here's a quarterback coming off a game in which he threw 4 touchdowns. And they've watched the tape all week. They've seen it. But what can they do differently?
I think they've got to approach it like a pitcher facing a really hot batter. Get him uncomfortable in the box. Change speeds, change locations, change the pitches you throw at him. So show different coverages. Blitz sometimes, drop back other times. Just don't let him get comfortable or let him get into rhythm.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 27-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 27, Rodgers. And off the deflection, it's caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we... We'll start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
At the 32-yard line.
A first carry here for Kene Nwangu. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
So a nice catch right there. And this receiving core, without their number 1 wideout, keep that in mind. He's inactive this week, though it shouldn't be a long-term absence.
And I would think, partner, that this is where an offensive coordinator believes he can solve the problem by spreading the ball around. Because anytime you lose your number 1 guy, it's obviously a blow to your offense. But this is also an opportunity to say, hey, they can't focus on trying to stop one guy. Keep spreading it around. The last part, each one of those receivers, they believe they're the number 1 guy, and they're ready to step up.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Mond. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
Now Jones. Stopped short. Down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Packers add on to their lead.
So, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because, to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Now Crosby for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game.
That's the score. Packers 14, Vikings 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Mon. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. On first down, here's Mon. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Watch his slant. Watch his slant. Mike's 43. Mike's 43. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you.
To try again after the sack. Mon. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Packers pick it up. And some room to work. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Packers 21, Vikings 3.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Nwangu now from his end zone. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that pretty much...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Now back to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. It got his man. Complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. But with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 29-yard line.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Take over 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive, escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard. Looking to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Back to throw here. Dancing to his left. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
They're going to look to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This is a 26-yard attempt. Joseph's got it, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now a play fake. Rodgers. That's caught right side by Anderson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Chaz Surratt there to bring him down.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again to Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones, and he stopped immediately there. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Got Anderson on the slant. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 1st down, Jones. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Again, it's Jones. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they're going to stop him here short of the goal line with the flag down. Well, this could set up a very interesting decision. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Here's Jones, and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Here's a quick throw to Thielen. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Mond out of the shotgun. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Mond to the air on 1st and 10. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones. Touchdown number 22 on the season.
And the Packers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points.
13.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
43's the mic. 43's the mic.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
Picked off by Jair Alexander. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing, and that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he could make anything happen.
And, oh, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. Third down coming up.
And 7 yards to go.
The Packers on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. On play action. Rodgers.
Trying to get it to Anderson, but it's intercepted.
Picked off down near the 5. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down.
At the 16-yard line.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. They'll try the right side with Harris. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
43's the mic. 43's the mic.
Mond looks to throw.
Eluding the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
104 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And that is incomplete. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. They'll throw again from their own end zone.
That'll be complete to the running back, Nwangwu.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch the short passes, he can run under a long pass, or he can do what we saw right there, catch one and then make a big gain after the catch.
They'll try and throw for it. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith.
And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 23.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off around the 27.
And the Vikings are right back in this football game.
2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Mond's throw complete to his receiver, Thielen.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Mond looks to throw on 1st down.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
No we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. So the touchdown was big. This almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a one-score game with a two-point conversion. They'll look to throw. And that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a one-score game. So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. This one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Rodgers to throw. He's got Anderson right side. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Rodgers looking to throw. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
It completes it once more to Anderson.
And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
On 1st and 10, here's Mon.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Packers, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.